my name is Abby Earhart, and my short sermon title is How to Identify a Good Friend. And the scriptures I will be using today are 1 Corinthians 13:4, Proverbs 27:17, and Proverbs 12:26. So today I want to talk about friendship and what it means to be a good friend, and how to identify a good friend from a bad one. But before I start, I want you to think for a second if you've ever had a bad friend or experienced a toxic friendship before, because I know I have. There's this one girl that I was really close with in the beginning of freshman year, and I thought she was the funniest person I had ever met, and I just really loved being around her. But as the school year went on, I started realizing the person she actually was and how she was affecting my life in a negative way. She was very controlling and manipulative and influenced me to do stuff that I wasn't comfortable doing and stuff that I knew was wrong. She was very two-faced and mistreated me and the rest of my friends, constantly bringing us down, and she would act like the victim even when she was in the wrong. Me and my other friends couldn't handle it anymore, and this was a very hard thing to do, but we all completely cut her off. I think it's funny because when I originally wrote this sermon to preach at my youth group on Wednesday night, I was still friends with that girl, and I invited her and all of my friends to come see my sermon, hoping that this message about friendship would speak to that one particular girl that was toxic. She never ended up coming, but I think it's weird about how this sermon was originally geared towards helping her, and now it's about her. I always thought she was the ideal friend, one that would be with me forever, but what does an ideal friend even look like? Which brings me to my first point, which is a good friend loves. In 1 Corinthians 13:4, it says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud." This verse is very well known, but if you think about it, it actually outlines the foundation of a good friend. A good friend loves at all times, regardless of what you do. A good friend is someone that protects you and is willing to do anything for you. Someone you can trust and lean on when you need a helping hand. The next step of identifying a good friend is that a good friend should always hold you accountable. In Proverbs 27:17, it says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Good friends push you to be your best self. They will correct you if needed. Iron sharpens iron. A good friend makes you better by being honest. I can think of so many people that hold me accountable each and every day. Like my mom. She's always there for me, teaching me to be the best version of myself. Even my teachers hold me accountable to continue doing my work and stay on track so I can get good grades. These are perfect examples for holding someone accountable. Which holding someone accountable just means to follow through with what they said they would. You're keeping them responsible. It's as simple as sending someone a quick text saying, "Hey, don't forget to do your math homework later," or "Make sure you clean your room like your mom said." It's such an easy thing to do, yet not a lot of people do it. So far, I've talked about what a good friend looks like, but how do you not mistake a good friend for a bad friend? Which brings me to my last point, which is identifying a good friend from a bad friend. Now, going back to that story I told earlier about the toxic friendship I was in, I didn't see the signs at first she was a bad friend, even though they were pretty obvious from the start. But in Proverbs 12:26, it says, "The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray." Because I wasn't cautious about the friends I was putting in my close circle, the devil attacked me by putting a fake friend in my life that was discouraging and didn't want the best for me. A few clear signs of a bad friend is if they're unreliable, self-centered, jealous, or constantly starting drama and chaos. Good friends should be loyal, loving, trustworthy, and caring, and accepting of who you are during the good and bad times. A good friend is rare, but a good friendship goes both ways. You should be putting in the same effort as your friend. The only way to have a friend is to be a friend, to be honest, loyal, trustworthy, and caring. Even during those rough patches, they stick you through your side, continuing to lift you up through it all. Now that's a good friend. Can you think of anyone in your life that's a good friend? Now let's close in a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this day, Lord, and I just pray that you remove all bad friends in people's lives right now, Lord, and that this message just spoke to someone, and that you keep the good friends close and remove all bad ones. In your name I pray, amen. Thank you.